Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. In the last part we met up with, we met Madarame for the first time, and we also met his,
You came.
his apprentice,
Yeah.
Yusuke.
You really came.
I love that reaction from it, Yusuke. That's really funny.
Make
But,
sure that you don't get in the way of the other visitors.
yeah, so the last part we,
I'll show you around.
met Madarame, we met Yusuke,
More about the picture I'd like to
and he
draw.
invited us out to, or invited Arn out to this exhibition, the art exhibition for Madarame, and that's what we're starting off today's part with. But in this part we are going to get some dungeon action by the end of today, so that's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens. Let's learn about Madarame. Come on.
We should do a quick pass through it once.
Do your job,
Where are
Yusuke.
we supposed to start?
I don't know why he has the 777s on the back of his jacket. I think that's the number of heaven, I believe. From what I remember, like 666 is the devil's number. I think 777 is supposed to be heaven's number, but apparently that's not even right. I think it's a mistranslation that 666 is the number of the devil. I think it's 667 from what I remember. I heard about this a long time ago on QI, but I think it was 667. I'm not sure.
Is to distance oneself from worldly desires such as money and fame.
Bullshit.
But it is more than enough to pursue true beauty.
A shack.
I see. So the
We might have a keyword here, ladies and gentlemen. Shack is going to be important.
We could hear the word shack coming from the great artist Madarame.
You would understand if you saw it.
I do really like Madarame's design, actually, and once again, it starts off kind of similarly to.
I'm so glad I came on opening day.
Sorry, it's kind of similar in how it starts to Kamoshida, where he's kind of portrayed as this really nice, sweet guy who is just completely nice, and buds wouldn't melt in his mouth, that kind of shit. And as we'll find out later, it's far from the truth.
However, Sensei creates all this by himself. He's special.
There you are, Yusuke.
Sensei.
I don't get that. Why are you surprised? It's Madarame's exhibit. Surely he's going to be there,
I don't know
Yusuke.
how to put it into words, but it's really amazing.
You're sensing something from the artwork. That alone is enough to give us artist satisfaction. I hope this becomes a wonderful piece, Yusuke. Well then, if you'll excuse me.
You'd imagine artists would be difficult to approach, but he seems really friendly.
Indeed.
We'll soon find out later on.
The painting I wanted to see in person.
This one?
I guess it's the painter's anger? I'm not sure, but I sense this strong frustration from it. To think such a cheerful and gentlemanly person could make such a piece.
I wonder why Yusuke is so bothered that Arn's talking highly of this particular piece of work.
This way.
Something seems off, eh? We'll find out more about that later on.
That old lady totally elbowed me.
Oh, for God's sake, Ryuji.
I remember now.
Grow a pair.
Well, let me get to it. It's about a post online.
What did you find,
Here,
Ryuji?
look at this.
Why'd you leave without me?
You got it all wrong. We got dragged into this huge crowd and... anyways, you gotta look at this too. This post might be about Madarame.
Okay.
What's it say?
The plot thickens, ladies and gentlemen.
Japanese artist is plagiarizing his pupil's work. Only his public face is shown on TV.
Yes, so...
Plagiarizing?
nicking his students' work. I wonder why Yusuke was so bothered about Ann really liking, really wanted to see that particular piece of work. I wonder why.
Treats them inhumanely, as if disciplining a dog.
Abuse on top of plagiarism, huh?
Which is, I think to be honest, the reason why they added the abuse angle to it, is because it doesn't seem.
Who knows? It's anonymous and all.
I don't want to say it doesn't seem as bad because plagiarism is bad, but it's not like the Kamoshida thing where he's like physically abusing his students and sexually harassing female students and that kind of thing. So I think they just wanted to add something to make you like Madarame even less. You know, I think it's just basically making it so that you definitely get that this guy is a complete arsehole. And so yeah, I think
What do you think about Madarame? Doesn't he seem suspicious?
So yeah, I think that's why they pretty much added that part. You know, because I think if he was just a plagiarist, I think it's bad, but I don't think it would be quite. It's also something that, you know, you can't really justify potentially killing someone over plagiarism. You know what I mean? When you go into his palace and all that. If he's an abuser as well, then yeah, it makes it a lot more palatable, I suppose.
He said he lives there, right? Perfect timing. Let's try going.
So now we've got, quite luckily, we've got Madarame's address.
You want me to model tomorrow? This is too sudden.
So we got Madarame's
We're
address.
just gonna go talk to Kitagawa.
So now we got his address, and we've got a potential keyword. So let's see what happens. And I think, yeah, I cut there. Oh my god, I'm shit at cutting. Anyway, we're now, I think it goes straight to after school, from what I remember. Oh no, it doesn't.
Oh yes.
We have a question to answer first, and then it goes straight to after school, where we go to see Madarame's address. How dare you? I'm one with the arts.
Here's a question.
It was Van Gogh. Or Van Gogh. I think it's Van Gogh. 18 billion yen. New record has been set practically every year. Because people got too much fucking money to waste on shit like that. Knowledge is still maxed out. It's gonna be a while before I max out everything. It actually took me a lot longer with Persona 5 than it did with Full Golden. I think it was at the near the end of the first playthrough, or it was right at the beginning of the second playthrough, that I got all my stats maxed out. Here it's taken me like a fair chunk of the way through my second playthrough. Yes, we can bring pets.
No.
We didn't pay the pet fare. I actually really like this interaction here with the little girl, and it's a stuffed animal. It's not a real cat. It meows when you press its head. Press it on the head. This is ridiculous. Look, Morgana's reaction there. I should press. Time to button mash. I love that. It's so fucking hilarious. I just threw up in my mouth. This is so awesome. Ooh, doors will open on the left. This is our stop time for us to go. Ah, that's such a good moment. I love that. Oh, it's so fucking funny. I love that.
Yeah.
Which line do we gotta transfer to? Oh yeah, fuck. I don't know why it does this here as well, and then doesn't bother with this for the rest of the game, where you have to find your own way to the destination. It's kind of Station Square and then Central Street. Yeah, so I messed about for a bit, so I just like fuck it. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't think there's a need to do it that way, but whatever.
Former Olympian, teacher at Shujin Academy. Reason for turning himself in is a heavy conscience.
So yeah, we're back with the SIU director, and he's
let alone their natural temperament.
or as I like to call him, the guy who's clearly a shady character.
Seems doubtful. Perhaps I'll have someone look into it, just in case.
My God, the police are onto us. Fuck.
Is that it?
It's pretty fucking big though. Considering they call it a shack, it's pretty fucking big. Although I do like the design of this place. It does look.
Won't collapse when I do, will they?
It does look
No one
messy.
sneeze or we'll blow
I'll
this
say
house
that.
down, okay?
But I like the design, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of a mix because the size is kind of grandiose, but it looks cobbled together. So it's kind of interesting. I like that.
People really do live here.
Wow.
Takamaki-san, you two are here as well?
Hey, sorry, but we ain't here to talk about the modeling thing. There's something we gotta ask you. Is it true Madarame's plagiarizing stuff? He's abusing people too, yeah?
Oh, Ryuji,
Are you serious?
you are you
Read
have
about it online.
no filter.
This?
Okay, I think he's going crazy.
Preposterous! Not only is the plagiarism impossible, but abuse? If he hated children so much to harm them, he would never allow pupils into his home. And I'm the one
Yusuke,
residing
I
here,
hate to tell you this,
studying
buddy.
under him. I'm saying it's not true.
In order to abuse them, he has to kind of be close to them, just so you know.
Lying about it.
That is utter rubbish. I had no family when Sensei took me in and raised me into what you see now. If you continue to ridicule the man I owe my life to, you will rue this day.
You really think that?
Yusuke, what's the matter? I heard you yelling.
These people are slandering you with baseless rumors.
Forgive them, Yusuke. They must have heard some bad rumors and came in worry for their friend's safety.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Understood,
Of course.
Well, even
Makes
I
total
doubt that
sense.
a cranky old man like myself could be liked by everyone.
That's not what we meant.
I'm sorry to have butt in on your conversation. However, I do have neighbors around. Won't you please keep it down?
See, once again, it's kind of the thing with Kamoshida where Madarame is overtly, over the top nice about it. You know, over the top nice, really. So it kind of gives it away pretty early on, to be honest. My apologies.
Work, as well as his most representative piece. It's titled Sayuri.
Sayuri?
Ding! This is a this is a major part of the Madarame.
know all this fine art stuff, but even I can tell that this.
You know, this is part of the main part of the Madarame and Yusuke kind of story section here. So
I wish to pursue beauty like
so yeah, Sayuri is going to be a major part of that.
will be part of that pursuit. I implore you, seriously.
That is a way to hit on someone. I'll tell you that much.
Took the time to come all this way, but I must assist Sensei today. I hope that we can discuss this further another time. If you'll excuse me then.
Those two seem like nice guys, don't they?
So they're kind of getting doubts at this point as to whether they're actually anything like that.
Thought we found a new target too.
How's the Metanav?
Hey,
It's got a, and he's got a fucking palace. There you go.
It means that Madarame has a palace too, right? But why?
Madarame, plagiarism, and then shack, huh?
Yes, those seem to be the keywords. So we need one
for real
more.
though, what the hell's going on? Does an old man like him really have a palace?
Ryuji, it's shown up on the Metanav. He has a fucking palace. Let's move on.
What that Madarame mistakes the shack for to enter his palace?
You mean
This one is
like
really
how
easy to
Kamoshida
work out, I will say
was
that.
his castle?
This one's really fucking
Right.
easy to work
Let's
out.
try saying some things. They can be random guesses.
It's a bit sudden though.
Why don't we start with castle?
This is gonna take a
Then
while.
about prison.
He wouldn't see it as a prison, would he?
Jail, warehouse, and guidance counseling office. Might as well add farm.
Why farm? That seems so
Come
random.
back another time?
A building that's related to artists.
Yeah, they're really playing it on thick for you to try and figure it out. A museum. Boom.
Beginning navigation.
He sees it as a museum,
Really?
when in reality it looks like a shack. A big shack, but it looks like a shack. So there we go. Onwards to see Madarame's palace. And his palace looks fucking gaudy as shit. Loads of gold. And weird structures and sculptures on it.
Come on.
You just got a point. You probably would have worked that out.
What?
The differences can be subtle, remember that. Look at that.
Hey,
That's gaudy as fuck. But yes, it's time for us to actually begin to go through another palace again.
it's so extravagant to the point that it's gaudy.
Stop stealing
It's
my
a
words, Anne.
museum, right?
This is Madarame's?
But there we go.
Palace is a scenery driven
So
by
his palace
sight.
is a museum.
Just like how Kamoshida's palace was a
This
castle.
one
Madarame's
actually
artwork
has
is
an
on display at
interesting
museums in reality
way to
too,
go
though.
through it.
This
It
exhibit
kind of
is
has a similar
popular,
thing
and
to what
people already respect it.
Kamoshida's had,
Why would he
where
fantasize about a museum?
sorry,
Point. It ain't related to
'cause
plagiarism or abuse either.
what happened with
Let's try looking around.
Kamashida's
Finding
palace
our
was that you
brains
had
here won't
to,
do us any good.
you went in
Right.
first with you and Ryuji,
Aside, ain't a museum
then you
a
went back
must for phantom
with
thieves?
Morgana and Ryuji, then you went back with Arn, and then you went through the whole thing
Yeah.
properly.
All those old man's fans
This one is a little
strong
bit different, where you can go
That has
through
nothing
where
to
you,
do
it's
with
kind of
this.
split up into
But man, just look at that insane
3 parts, where you go in and get to a certain point and then can't get past for whatever reason. Then you get through the first section and the second section, and then you've got another point where you have to kind of stop, and you...
Focus.
Yeah, this is me trying to work out the controls again. But yeah, basically, and then in the third section is finally where you get to the treasure. So it's kind of split up into 3 parts really to get through, which is kind of interesting. And this is the first one where you've actually got Tom, the treasure, you prick, whatever.
Somewhere.
Tom, the treasure, there, get it, there you go, piece of shit. Sorry, I didn't notice that when I played.
I can feel it.
There we go. So yeah, so this is the first one actually as well where you've got bad guys outside of the actual dungeon itself, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I think I got stuck here for a little minute. Yeah, there we go. So we have to find a way in, and kind of like a spy movie at this point, where we have to go in through the skylight. It's kind of cool. Time to enter through. Isn't that nice and convenient? Got a skylight open just for us to enter in. And somewhere Morgana was hiding a rope. I don't want to know where she was hiding, where he was hiding that. I keep saying she. I guess it's because I just associate Morgana with a female name, I guess. I really just got a point there. After the last palace, I think moving pictures is not particularly freaky. Someone's name and age. Yeah, this is not going to take long to work out, is it really? I'll wait until it comes up. Because I keep going ahead, getting ahead of myself. Yeah, so basically you want to go to that main painting first. And you can look at all of them if you like. But it's just easier to go past them all. I think at this point I was kind of like, are there any enemies? There are no enemies. So yeah, for this first section, you basically have no enemies to look at. So it's all about just getting through and seeing what is around. You know what I mean? Like this first initial encounter, it's just no enemies, just have a look around.
Hey.
And it's the second playthrough where the second time you go in where you actually have enemies going around and you go through it properly. And here you go. This is a picture of that is Nakanahara, who we know was the first person who mentioned Madarame to us in Mementos. So that is another clue as to what these paintings actually mean. It's, like I say, it's pretty easy to work out. Even first time round, you can pretty much work out. Something else I like, actually, when you grab... And it's Yusuke, which I think is pretty much the final nail in the coffin as to what these paintings are all about. Basically, the paintings in the... I will say it now. The paintings in the palace are Madarame's pupils, and it kind of is supposed to be his cognition of them, which is basically they are tools. They are a way for him to keep producing artwork and enable him to keep making money basically off their backs without giving them anything in return. But as I was saying there, I kind of like that animation. Sorry, I like that animation where you take the painting and it take the what's the word I'm looking for? You take the sculptures and they kind of turn into dust. It's kind of a nice little animation. But yeah, the paintings basically are how Madarame sees his pupils, basically tools to enable him to keep making money. And he doesn't really care about them much more, for any other reason than that. Which kind of says that him treating them like, working them like dogs and treating them like dogs is probably true. He's got a palace. Seems pretty fishy to me.
Treasure chest.
My apologies.
Oh.
We got 4 of those. Let's say we got a couple of chests. No, in fact, I remember I opened this one, and there's another one behind me, as you can see on the map, which I completely fucking forget. I do get it the next time I'm in here, though, so it's not the end of the world. It's a giant sculpture. Where is the giant sculpture?
Look at this.
The infinite spring?
There you go.
A conglomerate work of art that the great director Madarame created with his own funds. These individuals must offer their ideas to the director for the rest of their
Yep.
lives.
This pretty much
Those who
confirms it,
cannot
that
do
the
so have no worth living?
that these are the this is pretty much the exact way that he thinks about his pupils. They are
Damn it. What a
tools
fool
to
you
give
are.
him ideas to enable him to keep making money off, you know, to keep making money, you know, stealing the ideas, plagiarizing from the students, and if they don't do it, then they're kicked out on their ass and absolutely obliterated from the art world. He destroys their careers, so he's a pretty sick motherfucker. Yep.
Why is Yusuke keeping quiet about this?
So yeah,
No
that's
reason to cover this up.
we thought he might be a nice guy, but no, he sucks. He's
He's
a fucking asshole. And someone else to take down.
When we were at the exhibit, I praised one of the pieces on display, but Kitagawa-kun acted strange. Maybe that piece
That
was
is
plagiarized
because it was plagiarized from Yusuke.
Ain't
That
this
is
enough to target
Yusuke's
Madarame?
work, which is kind of. I think they confirm this later on, but it's
That's what
pretty
I'm
much
talking
Hold
um
on, you two. We should confirm these facts with you.
100% complete. It's basic. Yeah. Take two. It's confirmed later on, but it's pretty much
What a pain in
stated
the
to be the
ass.
fact anyway at this point, you know, or there's a lot of, it's heavily pointed towards that angle anyway,
You're right.
so
I'll
it's
try
heavily pointed
contacting
at that is the
Kitagawa-kun.
case
I
at
might
this
be able to
point
get the
anyway,
truth
so
out of him
it's
if
not
they
really
accept his
spoiling
modeling
anything.
offer.
Wait, you're gonna do that?
You all better come with me, okay? I'm scared to go alone.
So yeah, so now Arn is going to agree to model for Yusuke,
Well, we'll just grab
so
ourselves
we
until
can
confirmation from
get
Yusuke.
some
This is our first
try and
mission
get some
as
information off
Yusuke
him and
beats.
find out what's
We're gonna
really
succeed
going
no matter
on.
what.
But that won't be till next part. Join me next time for the next part of Persona 5, when we'll be going to back to Yusuke to try and get some information from him regarding what's Madarame really doing with his students. So join me next time for the next part of Persona 5. See you next time.